Here we have a SAT math problem. Okay, let's go to the question. The equation L negative m over 2 times x square negative L positive m over 2 times x positive m equals to 0 has got two values of x to satisfy the equation given as. Okay, here we have a quadratic equation, and usually we have two solutions for a quadratic equation. There is two values of x, and in the given answer choices we have those two values of x, and we have to find the one which contains two values of x for this quadratic equation. Okay, I think we can try to solve this quadratic equation by factoring. For that, what I have to do is I have to multiply the constant term m by the coefficient of x square, that is L negative m over 2. Okay, when I multiply them, I am getting L negative m over 2 times m. Okay, now what I have to do is I have to get two factors over here, so that the product of the two factors must be equal to this stuff, and when I add the two factors, it must be equal to the coefficient of x, that is negative of L positive m over 2. Okay, now let me try this one as a first factor, this m as a second factor, that is L negative m over 2 and m as a second factor. When I multiply these two factors, I am getting this stuff. Okay, now when I add these two factors, it must be equal to the coefficient of x, that is negative of L positive m over 2. Okay, now let me add them, that is L negative m over 2 positive m. Okay, here I am adding a fraction and an integer. Whenever I add a fraction and integer or subtract, what I have to do is I have to multiply the integer part by the denominator of the fraction. Once I am done with this multiplication, I can take this denominator 2 as a common denominator. Okay, now let me multiply this m by this denominator 2, then I am getting positive 2m. Now I can take this 2 as a common denominator. Okay, now let's do some simplification. When I combine negative m and positive 2m, I am getting positive m over 2. So when I add these two factors, I am getting L positive m over 2. Almost I got it, but here the coefficient of x is not only L positive m over 2, there is a negative sign over here. So the same stuff I must be getting with negative sign. So I need to make some changes over here so that I'll be getting this result. When I add the two factors, I'll be getting this result with negative sign. So for that, what I can do is I can take a negative sign for this one and a negative sign for this one. I'm taking negative sign for both the factors. Now when I multiply them, negative times sign will become positive. When I multiply this one and this one, I'm still getting the same stuff. Now let's add these two factors. That is negative of L negative m over 2 negative m. Okay, now let's add the same thing here. We have a fraction, we have to assume m as an integer. So whenever we want to do addition or subtraction between a fraction and an integer, we have to multiply the integer part by the denominator of the fraction. Once I'm done with this multiplication, I can take this 2 as a common denominator. Okay, now let me write it, negative of L negative m. Let me take this negative sign as it is. Let me multiply this m by 2, then I'm getting 2m. Now I can take this 2 as a common denominator. Now we have negative sign can be distributed to L and negative m, then I'm getting negative L. Negative times negative will become positive m, negative 2m divided by 2. Then I'm getting negative L. When I combine positive m and negative 2m, I'm getting negative m over 2. So now what I can do is I can factor negative sign out from this negative L and negative m. When I factor negative sign out, then I'm getting this negative L will become positive L, this negative m will become positive m. Then I'm getting negative of L positive m over 2. Okay, when I add these two factors, I'm getting negative of L positive m over 2. That's exactly we have as the coefficient of x over here. So the two factors I have taken now work. Okay, now further I have to divide these two factors by the coefficient of x square, that is L negative m over 2. Let me divide the first one by L negative m over 2 and the second one by L negative m divided by 2. So this L negative m divided by 2, L negative m divided by 2 will cancel. I'm just getting negative 1 over here. And here we have to do some simplification. That is, we can take this negative m as it is, and we can change this division as multiplication. Then we have to take reciprocal for this fraction. Then it will become 2 over L negative m. Okay, now when I multiply this negative m and 2, I am getting negative 2m divided by, we get L negative m in denominator. Okay, now to get the first value of x, what I have to do is I have to change the sign of the first factor over here. Already it's negative. When I change the sign, it will become positive. That is positive 1. That's the first value of x. Now to get the second value of x, I have to change the sign of the second factor. Already it's negative. When I change the sign, it will become positive. That is positive 2m over L negative m. Okay, now I got the two values of x for the given quadratic equation. They are 1 and 2m over L negative m. I find these two values of x exactly in answer choice A. The correct answer choice for this question is A.